A sharp warning from Moscow to Seoul. Send weapons to Ukraine and pay the price. Russia says South Korea's possible entry into a NATO arms program for Kyiv could cause irreparable damage to bilateral ties, and the fallout could reshape security dynamics in both Europe and Asia. The reaction comes after reports that South Korea is considering joining NATO's weapons funding mechanism for Ukraine. The program, known as the Prioritized Ukraine Requirements List, or PEARL, was launched last year. It allows European NATO members to purchase mostly US-made weapons for Kyiv. According to media reports, NATO has formally asked Seoul to participate. Russia's foreign ministry spokeswoman, Maria Zakharova, says the reports surprised Moscow. She warns that any South Korean involvement, direct or indirect, would only prolong the war. And she made it clear that such a move would seriously harm relations between Russia and South Korea. Zakharova added that Moscow would respond, potentially with asymmetric measures. Russia has repeatedly condemned Western arms shipments to Ukraine, arguing they extend the conflict without altering its outcome. Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has urged faster funding commitments from European allies. Public figures show billions already allocated to the NATO scheme. At the same time, South Korea has emerged as a major beneficiary of the global arms boom. Defense giant Hanwha Group reported a sharp rise in arms revenues, with more than half coming from exports, including to NATO states. If Seoul joins the NATO purchase program, it would mark a significant shift in its role in the Ukraine conflict. For Moscow, that would cross a red line. For Seoul, it could deepen ties with Western allies, but risk escalating tensions with Russia.
A new energy standoff is unfolding in Europe. Slovakia is threatening to pull the plug on Ukraine. Prime Minister Robert Fico says if oil transit is not restored, electricity supplies to Kyiv will be suspended from February 23rd, and the fallout could ripple across the region. Fico says Slovakia will halt electricity exports unless oil flows through the Druzhba pipeline resume. He warned that if supplies are not restored by Monday, he will ask Slovakia's grid operator to stop transmitting power to Ukraine. Calling Slovakia a proud and sovereign country, Fico signaled that Bratislava will not accept what he describes as one-sided relations. The dispute centers on oil transit through Ukraine. According to industry sources, Ukrtransnafta halted crude deliveries to Slovakia and Hungary earlier this month, even after technical issues at the Brody pumping station were reportedly resolved. Hungary's foreign minister Peter Szijjártó accused Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy of blocking supplies to create political pressure ahead of elections.
And then there is one more thing here that for now, Tapo, I'm observing cautiously because a significant portion of the electricity supply from Hungary, a significant amount of electric power, is also going towards Ukraine. This is serious, so if we stop this, then very serious things could happen. In any case, the Slovaks put this on the table yesterday. We are negotiating with the Slovaks, and if necessary, we will take the third countermeasure.
Kyiv has not publicly confirmed those accusations. Fico says the suspension of gas supplies alone has caused Slovakia losses of around 500 million euros. The oil transit halt, he claims, has created even greater logistical and financial strain. He also criticized what he called Zelensky's hostile attitude toward Slovakia. And in a further sign of tension, Hungary has blocked a proposed €90 billion European Union package for Ukraine. The European Commission has acknowledged disruptions in regional fuel flows. Earlier, Slovakia's Fico accused Zelenskyy of political blackmail, as he added that Ukraine risks losing Europe's support due to its current behavior. Fico warned, adding that Slovakia might cease supplying Ukraine with electricity.
President Zelenskyy is playing with our support regarding Ukraine's European perspective. If our suspicion that this is political blackmail is confirmed, he will gradually lose our support. Also today, a SEP's representative, whom I invited concerning electricity supplies to Ukraine, was present at the government meeting. Slovakia provides what we might call, let's say, security deliveries in the event of a power grid failure in Ukraine, when they need Slovak electricity to stabilize their system. In January of this year, the volume of electricity supplied to Ukraine was so immense that it actually surpassed twice the total amount delivered throughout the entire year of 2025. This clearly indicates that these particular deliveries likely hold substantial importance for the overall electrical power system of Ukraine. If Mr. President Zelenskyy feels that this has no value, that he does not require it, then we can decide to withdraw from this cooperation regarding the supplies of electrical energy.
Energy has once again become a geopolitical weapon. Electricity, oil, diesel, all now entangled in wartime politics and European divisions. If Slovakia cuts power exports, Ukraine's already fragile energy grid could face fresh strain, as Russian forces continue to pound the grid during the freezing winters.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That has often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore. If you individually take out data.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.